After the Gustav Stresemann years, 1929 marks a significant moment in Germany. The Wall Street crash in America actually causes Germany to lose a huge amount of money, and people start turning to extreme parties to try and find a solution to their problems. Now, this leads us to one of our most crucial areas of the course, Hitler's rise to becoming Chancellor, effectively the Prime Minister. Now, after the Munich Putsch, Hitler realised he cannot get control by a revolution. He needs to gain popular support from the public. He needs to win votes to be elected as Chancellor. And a way we remember how he became Chancellor is another acronym. So LAM was for the Treaty of Versailles. For Hitler becoming Chancellor, we think of FLOPPED. F-L-O-P-P-E-D. So let's talk through each letter, what it stands for, and then a little bit of detail to write down or to note down about that. So F stands for fear of communism. As I said, people were looking for extreme ways out of their problems. One party that people would turn to was the Communist Party. Now, communism is the idea that workers should share the power. There should be a share, people should be sharing their wealth. Workers should gain extra control. Now, people fear this. Some people do not support this communist idea. Take, for example, if you're somebody starting on the property ladder or trying to get a job or trying to start your own business. You might want to start your own business and make money, make profits, earn more money to build a bigger house, build your family, whatever else. Now, communism is the idea of sharing that wealth among everybody. And some people do not like that idea, especially middle classes and upper classes. Now, during election campaigns and during the years 1929 to 1933, some people think communism is the way forward. Sharing the wealth, giving everybody equal power is the only way out of our economic problems. However, Adolf Hitler says, I will crush the communists. I will get rid of the communists. His loyal supporters, the SA, who wear brown uniforms, actually will go to communist meetings and beat them up. Hitler is seen as a man who will take action and stop this disease, this spread of communism from happening. So upper classes, middle classes in particular, will support Adolf Hitler as he is the only one who promises to do something about those communists. He plays on that fear of communism. So that is your F. Your L stands for leadership. The one man at the top of the party, Adolf Hitler. Now, with hindsight, we can say whatever we like about Adolf Hitler and how awful he was. But L, his leadership, was very, very effective. He organised his party in an efficient manner. People did what he said. He controlled the country by giving amazing speeches, amazing rallies. People saw this on the newspapers. They saw this, heard about it in radio discussions, in speeches. Hitler was powerful. He was the thing that was driving the Nazis. At a time where a Weimar government is struggling to feed its workers and is struggling to pay off its reparations still and is struggling to give people a job, Hitler seems like a beacon. He stands at the top. He gives these positive images. He has people following and hanging off his every word. If you want somebody leading your country, do you want a weak leader that has led a country into a depressed state, or do you want somebody who is standing up and declares any kind of power from any person and they will all listen to him? So that's leadership. That also goes hand in hand with the opposition he had, the weak opposition. So whilst Hitler's leadership was extremely strong, the opposition parties were actually extremely weak, arguing among each other and not agreeing on a common goal to try and combat this power that Hitler had. O. What does O stand for? Organisation of the SA. Hitler was organised anyway in getting support from several different groups, upper classes, middle classes, lower classes, his propaganda campaign. But the SA specifically plays an important role. Millions of people join the SA, the brown uniforms, designed by Hugo Boss, in fact. These brown uniforms are worn by loyal Nazi volunteers. Volunteers, people who will wear the swastika with pride, will march through the streets giving out banners, giving out leaflets, singing Nazi songs, going to Nazi meetings where they're drinking beer, eating food, having a good time, declaring their loyal support for the Nazis. If you're a young person in particular in Germany with no hope, no job, there's no jobs around, you will find this common goal, this group of people that seem happy, they're well fed, they've got a goal to follow towards. It's like something trending on Instagram or something like that. You want to follow what people are doing. People started following the SA. Having that organised group spreading that message gained Hitler's support. We then come on to our first of our P's, and that's promises and propaganda. So Hitler not only had these effective leadership skills and was playing on those fears, but he promised things that the people wanted. His main policy was bread and work. As I said, the country is struggling. They can't get enough jobs for its population. So he promised them work. He promised jobs. If I am elected, I will get you your jobs back. And we will all eat bread. You will all get food. The two things that people are struggling to get, Hitler promises people. And he does that with an effective propaganda machine run by Joseph Goebbels, who actually runs this propaganda machine, posters on every street corner, Adolf Hitler leading the country from the front. You could not avoid this message that the Nazis were spreading. The other P stands for political deal. Now, political deal, if we're going on our timeline of Hitler becoming Chancellor, is actually the last of all of the key aspects in him becoming Chancellor. The political deal, Hitler has used all these skills, this leadership, this fear of communism, this organisation, to get popular support until he's almost the most popular party in the country, almost has the majority to win as many seats as he needs in the Reichstag. He just can't get to that 2/3 majority he needs. Now, the political deal is crucial in getting him the job as Chancellor, and it's because of a man called von Papen. Von Papen was the Chancellor. Hindenburg was the president. The president had very similar kind of powers to the Kaiser in the first video you watched. The president could sack or appoint a chancellor at any moment. Now, Hindenburg had struggled through lots of different chancellors who didn't seem very powerful, von Papen being one of them, who loses his job in 1932 as chancellor as he is basically not doing a very good job. Von Papen's replaced by a guy called Schleicher, who is also an unpopular Chancellor of Germany. Now, Adolf Hitler goes to the president, Hindenburg, and says, my party is extremely popular. I have millions of followers. Make me Chancellor and I will rule the country and we will become strong again. Hindenburg doesn't like the idea originally. He won't support Adolf Hitler's bid to become Chancellor. Von Papen is crucial though. Von Papen is friends with Hindenburg. Von Papen has the trust of Hindenburg. Now, von Papen goes to Adolf Hitler and says, if I can get you to become Chancellor, will you give me the role of Vice-Chancellor? Hitler agrees. Von Papen goes to Hindenburg and convinces Hindenburg that as von Papen is Vice-Chancellor and Hindenburg as President, they can control Adolf Hitler and ensure his extreme views don't become too widespread. Hitler is then appointed Chancellor by Hindenburg as a result of this political deal. We've got two more letters. E stands for economic policies, or more specifically, unpopular economic policies. So when the Nazis are gaining their support and there's been a depression in Germany, they've lost all their money as a result of the Wall Street crash, the Weimar Republic makes a really, really odd decision. They decide to raise the taxes and lower the wages. Now, when people are struggling to get by anyway, that's not going to be a very popular economic policy. So that unpopular policy pushes people towards other parties, the Nazis. And finally, D, the Depression. This is the thing that's gone through as a theme throughout all of our other letters. The Depression is the first thing that actually happens in our rise to Hitler becoming Chancellor. The Depression happens as soon as the Wall Street crash goes along in 1929. The Depression, around 6 million people lose their jobs as a result of Germany having to give any money it has back to USA from the loans it's taken previously during the Stresemann years, and its world trade collapses. So Germany has barely any money. People are homeless. People are lining street corners to get some soup or rely on charities to feed their families. So with people so desperate, they want a change. They want somebody who's going to stand up and try and make Germany great again, which is what Adolf Hitler has been promising in all of our other letters. So when you're desperate and you need a change and you've got a leader that seems like he has the control and the influence over millions of people, that's who you're going to vote for. So let's remind ourselves. F, fear of communism. L, leadership and weak opposition. O, organisation of the SA. P, promises and propaganda. P, political deal. E, economic policies, unpopular ones. And D, the Depression.